My name is Kenneth. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Sorry about the music in the background. I'm doing some demonstrations. So today we're going to have a discussion about, are you really getting a black projection screen? Are you really buying one? And how you would know that. Also too, you need to know if you are actually getting a screen that can produce high white levels. At the end of the day, are you getting nothing more than black paint? Can you do the same thing with black fabric? Now, how does that work? So, we are going to look into this. So, I've actually done a lot of research on different forms of screens, saying that they are either gunmetal or dark gray or black or whatever they are. And at the end of the day, these screens will pop up once they get down here to be a dark screen, almost near black screen. When I say gunmetal, some of these screens we have them down as black. So let's look at a couple of these we have right here. All right, so sorry about my kitchen countertops, it's a bit junky here. These aren't black at all. I don't even know how this is considered to be alternate contrast when it's light. I have to figure that one out. I don't even know how that one even works. All right, so as I said before, one of the tests we like to do when we're showing off a black screen that's supposed to be 100% black, it's called a paint test. And the paint test is basically, and I'll put some links below so you can check those out. The paint test is basically where we take black paint and we pour the black paint out side by side to the other paint that we have. Like we have the Black Phantom, or we may have a Phoenix, and we pour the paint out next to each other. So you can see that both screens, number one, are physically black. That's one thing you want to be to see, because you want to make sure that one of the screens don't come up gray. If one of the screens come up gray, that means that screen is not black. It has to be able to match that black paint to show that it's an actual physical black screen. Now, whether our screen has, the Phantom has an interesting feature where basically it dries a different shade. It can come out exactly the same as black paint poured side by side, but when that screen dries, it dries lighter, and also too, it still remains a real black level, still black, but it dries a different shade, and also too, the screen pulls a tremendously high white level. I can take a black Phantom, I can throw black hoodies, t-shirts, vinyl, whatever I want against that screen on a white level, and that screen will produce the highest white level. Now, these are screens that literally I thought this screen was a black screen the first time I saw it. This is daylight screen. This screen is actually a very dark gunmetal screen. I don't think they labeled it a black screen, but we'll look into that. There's another company called Dragonfly. I was very interested in this screen because this screen looks really, really dark, and I'm thinking, okay, that has to be a black screen. But I think when in conversations with that one, with that particular individual, that screen is actually a gunmetal too. Very dark gray screen. This right here, the Dark Star 9, is another dark gray screen. So don't get me wrong, all these screens do their jobs when it comes to white screens, but we're talking about black technology versus black technology. Finding a screen that is the exact same color as ours. Keep in mind, the Phantom is the darkest black screen we make. That screen is 4 times darker than the Phoenix. Hold on for a minute. Let me go grab my surface comparison sheet. We're going to need that for this demonstration. So, Phantom's technology is really dark. If you look at the Phantom deep reds, they are very dark screens. So there's certain things we had to go through when developing the Phantom technology, comparing it to the Phoenix. Phoenix is a very dark screen. We had to do stages to figure out which one would come up the darkest. I'll be back. I get my sheet. All right, this is my comparison sheet used to basically compare the screens. See if we got enough room here on the table for all of this. Okay, let me see what we got to do here. All right, bring it over here. This is how we started designing the Phantom. So, the dark here, the bigger screen, this right here is the Phoenix. That's how dark the Phoenix is. The Phantom went through stages, getting it darker each time till we got to the final stage. This is the first stage. See that a little better, sorry about that. First stage of the Phantom. Right here, the color you're seeing right here, this is the Phoenix. That's Phantom right there. That's Phantom at second stage right here. See how it gets darker and darker as we go along. Each time we darken the screen, we adjust the white levels on it, the heightener. The heightener is very important because the heightener allows the surface to be able to read white light. Without it, it's useless. We have a toner that adjusts the heightener because if without that, the screen produces too much white light, which we've seen in some demonstrations, and it looks like it's crazy hot spotting because the screen is generating too much light. So we have to add that in there to it. And then once we add the enhancer for color, all that has to blend well. Color can't come out too dark, can't come out too light, it has to balance off. So imagine all that going on at the same time. And this one, from here, became final stage of Phantom. So I told you the Phantom is far darker than the Phoenix. You go outside, you see those black screens outside, you think, well, it's a dark screen. No, Phantoms are far darker than a Phoenix. But Phantoms have higher white levels. So that's what we got with that. Now testing the other screens out over here. These screens are supposed to be darker screens. This right here is gunmetal, so we don't consider that black. This is actually darker than that screen. We don't consider this black. And this screen right here, it's just supposed to be a black screen. This is from a company. You get the sample sheet for yourself by Paint On Screens. That's where we went to. So you can see that we actually have their sample sheet over here. It's Paint On Screens. That's when I first saw their container of black paint. I'm thinking, ooh, we have a black paint we can test against. Got it over here. Looked at the back of the sample sheet. So it already says black on it, but the screen's not black. This is another thing too. I'm kind of baffled about this. This is supposed to be the ultimate contrast. Anything that's contrast is black. That's it. Black or dark gray. We're actually dark gray. The darker the screen, the heavier the contrast. I don't know how that's contrast. I really don't. But I don't know. So anyway, this is the demonstration we had with the black paint. This is one of the hardest tests you have to be to prove that your screen is actually physically black. That right there is the red. That's the deep red. That's the one when I go into the next room. That screen looks like it's black, but that screen is actually that color. And we have it over there in the container. So this is already dry. I told you when Phantoms dry, they dry lighter. When we do a side-by-side pour out, let me see, we got a container over here with the Phantom Fresh in it. So we can pour that out side by side. They come up exactly black. We also have the video demonstrations where we had to do that on camera. But yeah, you're getting gunmetal screens. That's what you're getting at the end of the day. They're not supposed to be gunmetal, but they're not supposed to be. If they say they're black, they should be black. What is this right here? I got all kinds of stuff in here. I don't even know what to do with half this stuff. What is this stuff? Oh, I know what this is. This is something new I was working on for this week. I find paint products in the house all the time. Like, what the freak is this? What is it used for? This is something new I'm working on. That's for a company. I can't get into that right now. That's the company. There we go. Here you go. This is Black Phantom. Sorry, I get some in the container we had downstairs. Painting another screen for demonstration. Whew, man. Now, I've done these demonstrations over and over again. For Black Phantoms, when they dry light. Which we did that demonstration also too. There you go. That's how you do it. Because the reason why they tell you to do this is because at the end of the day, they want to make sure they get an actual black screen. Somebody can have a really dark product like the gamers, us gamer cinemas are really dark gray screens. If you stared at it, you think the screen was black. The screen's not black, the screen is actually gray. I've had to do take black pieces of paint, put it in front of the screen to show that the screen was actually a physically gray screen, but that screen is actually gray, not black. So that's one of the things they request. We've requested that multiple times, but we know where that went to anyway. That was never done. So that way we know that we're actually getting a black screen. If I went to any one of these companies, I said, hey, look, this is your screen right here. You say it's black. If I put that against black paint, is that going to match? They're not going to do it because it's not going to match. It's not going to match. Not going to match. Let me get this stuff off my hands. So two things can happen. If a company says the screen is gunmetal, it's gunmetal. If it's dark gray, then it's dark gray. But it should never label it as a black screen if it's not a black screen. And keep in mind that this screen right here, and sorry, not to bring a dead horse back, but the individual tried to make a black screen. So at the end of the day, sorry, but you got to be thrown in this one too, because you're one of those individuals that try to do that. This surface is actually, this paint is darker than the product you just showed. This is patented by a company called Paint On Screens. And this one's darker than your product. Now, like I said, but in the video, not in the video, but we're going to take this with us upstairs. We got to pull that out too. I'm sorry. Well, he never claimed the UV mix to be black. He did. He never claimed the UV mix to be black. That's something he didn't do. So we can't pull that out because he never made that statement that the UV mix was actually a black screen. A dark gray screen, a gunmetal screen, that it can be. But he never made claim that it was actually a black screen in the day. Now that Jet Black Fusion, he did claim that to be a black screen, and the Simple Black, they're not black screens at all. They didn't even come close to a black screen. That's a darker screen than that product. This is a darker screen than that product. They're gunmetal. That one's darker, and the UV mix is much darker, and the UV mix is not black. It's actually considered to be gray. So usually they do that by trying to make the screen, like this one right here, they'll make the screen almost near black, but it's not black, so it pulls a higher white level. That's the whole trick of basically making the screen a little lighter than a black screen, because they know that black screen's not going to be able to pull the white light. That's what I've heard in the conversation on the phone, that the black screens don't have the ability to pull white light. Like I said, they haven't met me yet. So let's go upstairs. I want to take this with me because this is one of the demonstrations that I saw. I'm going to take that with me upstairs. And we're going to have a look at these sites. I've never seen any videos on this screen paint at all. I've just seen pictures, that's all. There is the Phantom. That's the actual black screen. There, we'll leave that right there on the stand. I'm just going to get my lights out here. Bring my lights out when I'm downstairs. There's no point. I'm not going to be down here, am I? Product lineups that's coming out for the Phantom are darker than these screens, way darker. So my research is just to find a black screen to see what makes mine different than another black screen. We're going in the back and we're going to look at the gunmetal. This is the darkest gray screen we make. Ooh, it's hot back here. Oh, I left a projector on, that's why. Why is it so hot back here? That's the reason why Mr. Bird doesn't need projectors. I already left that projector burning for the entire time back here. And these amps are cheap. That's the good part about it. All right, so let's come over here to our tech room. I never spend any time in here. How come in here like, why don't I spend I never spend any time in this room. That screen right there, if you look at it, that looks black. That's actually gray. That's a gray screen. That's how dark the cinema gamers are. Cinema gamers are very, very dark screens. They can pass for black screens easily, but they're not. At the end of the day, that right there is a gray screen. As I told you, when I saw the Jet Black Fusion, I said, man, that screen's not even dark. My gunmetal's darker than that, and it is. My gunmetal's way darker than the simple black or the Fusion, way darker. But that screen right there is gray. There you go. Now you see it? That's black, that's gray. That's how dark that screen is. Now you see it. See that? So this screen is claiming to be black. This is the paint on screen. It's going to be black. That's what it looks like next to our gunmetal screen. The gamer. That's how dark gamers come in. This is how darker gamers come in. When I told you that the gaming cinema was so dark that it can come close to a black screen, but it's not actually black. You won't actually see its true form until you actually pan out and you see it next to a physical black screen. So if this is supposed to be black right here, as it's claiming to be, and what I saw in the video for the Fusion Black, which this is darker than the Fusion Black, how is it called a Fusion Black when that's actually literally a physical black screen sitting right over there? There you go. Now these screens are dark. The problem with this screen is it has that reflective coating on it, but this screen's actually darker than this screen. See? Much darker. When I say that the gamer is one of the darkest gunmetal screens we ever developed, I'm not joking. Let's see what else we got. We bring everything up there? We don't need dark star knife. Look at that. But yeah, so like I said, you got to be careful because some people say now, and mind you, when you buy the screen paint, it does say that it is a deep gray. But a deep gray is not black. A deep gray is gray. When someone says that, when I saw the Fusion Gamer, and I looked at that, I was like, the Jet Black Fusion, I said, that screen is nowhere near black. Our gunmetals are darker than that. All right, so we can show that right there. So this is a company, very big company at that, is claiming this to be paint on screens. It's claiming this to be a black screen. How come it's not darker than the screen that we consider to be gunmetal? There you go. You gotta be careful what you're watching, what you're buying. At the end of the day, I think they should label the screen as what it is. Don't label the screen as black. It's not black. It's nowhere near black at all, period. All right, let's pop over in here to the monitor. I wonder if my fat cat was up there somewhere. My cat's not fat. They're chilling somewhere. And let's go look at the companies. Because if they had produced that screen outside, if they try to produce any contrast levels on that screen outside, that screen would have came up gray. That's why I told you that. When I was watching the demonstrations and I looked at the screen, I said, that screen is not black. That screen's gray. Oh, but that screen's black. That's the naysayer. That screen's black. You don't even know what you're talking about. Do you even know what black even looks like physically? Do you even know? Seriously? You saw a dark gray screen outside. That's what you saw. Just like you're looking at the screen paint right here, it's really, really dark. It's actually darker than the product he had on his website. The paint on the screen is much darker than the product he had on his website. And yet that screen is gray, not black. So just go out and when you get a gray screen, just go out and get, if a screen's claiming to be black, just go get yourself a can of black paint. That's all you got to do. It should match. And at the end of the day, with our technology, feel free to paint over one of our screens and see which one pulls the highest white level. Where are we at on this? Oh, there we are. Because there are only two reasons why they can't pass that test with a side-by-side black screen. Either the screen is not black, or either the screen is actually black paint. That's only two that you would have a problem with that. Oh, that's nice. I like how they got the castle in the background, right? But they got all the satellite dishes on the roof. The changing of time, man. Look at that. Everybody's got freaking satellite dishes on top of the roofs. And you got this medieval castle in the background. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to be taking this screen right here. It's going to be converted to blue. That's going to be the new Phantom blue screen we're going to be doing. And the one behind me is going to be coded today because I don't work on Sunday. And I'm getting two of them in here. After I see what that red looks like, I can imagine what that. But I sat there and said the ingredients that the Lord gave me on what the red was going to look like. It's going to be crazy. I know it's going to be crazy. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So we need to see. So I'm looking up some research on something over here. I'm looking up light forms. I'm looking at basically buying me another light form system because, as I said before, I want to hologram the. I want to do some test holograms for the hallway. So let me go over here and see if we can pull this out real quick. Because just about every day I come in here and I punch in black screen paints just to see what will pop up. If there's any company out there developing something out there that I can get a side by side with one of the screens, and we just don't pull up anything at all. There's one company, I can't remember the name of it. Really can't remember the name of the screen. That was the oddest, weirdest screen I've ever seen in my life. I would love to be there. I would even buy that. I don't care how much I would buy that. I would love to see how it reacts. It's got to be crazy expensive, judging by how it's designed. Okay. Internet's crazy slow today. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go in here and see if we can optimize this. Just gonna optimize on this. I wonder what the yellow is going to look like. So we got a yellow. We got a couple of them, man. There's so many we can do, but we just can't. We're going to make it a free option on the site. So you go to the site, it's going to be a free option. But there's so many we can make. There's so many colors we can make. We can't do them all. I need a site dedicated for that particular screen. I need one dedicated. I need to build me a second site dedicated for Phantom technology. Because there's so many colors we can do now. Oh, we can just change it whatever we want. I can't wait. I want to see what the yellow's going to look like. Well, if we do my yellow screen, I'm going to do a hazard border around it with the whole hazard tape and everything. That's a caution tape. I'm going to do something really cool. Maybe some flashing strobe lights on the top, like a cold caution thing. Please stand here, stuff like that, something like that. Do a couple of customized screens. All right, let me just figure out, give this thing a moment, what it needs to do. I think my hard drive's crashing, about to go. I might have to go redo my PC over here. Some maintenance on it. I haven't done maintenance on my PC in so long. It's just sad. I gotta get rid of some maintenance to it and see if we can get this thing up and roll. If not, we can switch over. We got 3 of these running through the house. We'll switch over to the other one. The other one, use one in the tech room. This one's been having problems today. All right, let me see, people. Sorry about that. I'm just having some complications with the computer. Probably just have to go in and just basically use the other one in the tech room, and I'll have to maintenance this one. Or we can just give it a hard shut off. One of them days, people. One of them days. It always happens. Let's see what's going on with this machine. Oh. don't see any black screens going through Screen Innovation. Not one. Okay, we would think you would have it. That's what I thought. I literally thought the Black Diamond was black. I literally thought it was a black screen. It was gunmetal. It wasn't black. Because I couldn't. The first time I heard about Black Diamond, the first time I seen the demonstrations on Black Diamond, I said, "That's a black screen." Yeah, I was baffled. Like I don't know what. Like how in the world? Like, all these thoughts were just transferring through my head. The first minute I walked into that sneaker store, my friend Jim was like, "You ever heard of Black Diamond?" I was like, "No, I never heard of Black Diamond. Who are they?" And he was like, "You ever seen the screens before? They're black." And I was like, "That's impossible." Because, at that particular time, everybody had gray screen paints. You had a couple darker ones, but they were not like we have today. But I'm like, that's impossible. You can't get light to come out of a black screen. That's virtually impossible. How's that even done? I was baffled by that. I couldn't get it out of my head what I just saw on that video. And then sooner or later, my buddy June, knowing I'm a person who basically, this would literally drive me crazy, ordered me the punch sheet and had it sent to his store. So they contacted me and said, "Hey, Ken, we got a punch sheet of Black Diamond down here. You want to check it out?" And I said, "Oh, heck yeah." Went down there, bought that screen, looked at it. I said, "Well, this is not black. This is kind of a real dark gray, but still was darker than anything I ever had in my shop. I've never seen anything like it. Man, I never forget the day, man. I put that against my screen. Wow. Unbelievable. Like the results were amazing. Absolutely amazing. I saw things, man, I didn't think a screen was possible. I had the capable of doing. And right there and then, like I said, I had a choice either to keep going with what I was making or basically make a screen that was blacker than that screen. That was my goal. My goal was to make a screen blacker than Black Diamond. And we got it downstairs, the Phantom. Phoenix is actually blacker too. Yep. 12 years ago, or 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 or 8 years ago, whatever. Around that time. No, it would have been 7 years ago, because 7 years ago I was developing gray screen paints. It'd have been around in 2015 is when we basically started working on darker screens. And the hardest thing for the dark screen to do is to be able to pull white light. Contrast was easy, that's easy. The problem was white light, have the screen draw white light. But I didn't realize at the time that the diamond screens had a reflective surface attached to them. That's the reason why the screens were pulling such a high white level, because they had this reflective surface. So they can make the screen dark, it's just that they had to have this reflective surface in order to pull white light. I realized that later on when I started testing out their products about the reflective surface. Then I noticed other screens started having reflective surface too. The darkened screen had this reflective surface attached to it. The reflective surface was plagued by angle gains. It was plagued by narrow viewing cones, stuff like that. Some of them didn't work well with ultra short throw projectors. Found that out about DMP Supernova when I was testing out their black screens. I put an ultra short throw or a short throw projector, and the screen went black on me. I was like, oh shoot! So I read the manual, and the manual said it doesn't work with short throw projectors. So those other things right there, I figured out about their products. But yeah. All that came from research. So, I mean, I don't even know how in the world in this decade in time, I mean, come on, you actually have black technology. And someone's going to try to fool people by saying the screen's black. I mean, where do you even see that from? You know, your speakers and your environment were darker than your screen. Like, that's the first sign right there. You should know that something's not right. The speakers are physically darker than the screen. That's something really wrong there. Pretty sure if you go to a car dealership, you know the difference between a black car and a gray car when you walk in there. If you don't know the difference between the two, don't even bother. But that's what I'm saying, that, yeah, the speakers physically in the room were darker than the screen. And then on top of that, bringing up the UV was way dark. The UV is a very dark product. Problem with the UV is it can't see white light. It doesn't have the ability to pull white light. It reacts the same way. Now, the screen I had downstairs in the demonstration that I showed you with the motorized screen, roll up and roll down, that screen that was laying against the white screen is actually a larger version of the UV Mix. That's what it is. That's when we made the product. We're trying to make a product that came close enough to it, and the product we came up with matched the UV Mix on that particular larger sample sheet, which did the exact same reaction downstairs as the UV Mix laying against the white screen and against the Phoenix. That's what we went against that. So I see we have an update coming through. So I'm going to go over to my other machine in the next room because this one over here is having its moment. So we'll go pop over to the other room. Go play on that server, the computer over there. We get it every so once in a while. Machines don't want to work right. They got to be updated. They got to be fixed. Let it fix itself. Let's go over in here. Bet you my cat's in here because he can't resist coming in this room. It's too much stuff for him to climb on in here. He's not supposed to be in here. He's probably in his room where he should be at because that is his room. All right. I had somebody ask me, like, how many screens do you actually use? Like, really, none of them. These are just basically for demonstrations. That's all they're for. The only screen I use really in the whole house is the one downstairs. I don't even use the one in the theater room. That's for demonstrations. Hold on. I just heard something move. Taco. No, he's in this room. There we go. Welcome. You got mail. All right, I was going to tell him some problem, life form programming. Let's see. Let's go over to. Yeah, see, that computer took forever to load. This one right here. I don't even think it's just got files in there that need to be removed. I got gaming files that need to go. I'm going to go with paint on screens. We got the right keyboard for this one. Got two keyboards down here. Yeah. Let me get this over here with me. I need my keyboard with me over here. Is it paint on screens or is it just paint on screens? Here we go. This is paint on screens. I first, like I said, when I first saw their product, I was thinking like, is that a black screen? When I first saw it, I haven't seen any demonstrations on the screen. I haven't seen any video demonstrations on the screen at all. Paint on screens, black, yeah, black paint on screens. It's like the other one better because I'm no closer up on this one. I'm not so close up on this one. See if we can bring zoom a little bit there. There we go. So this is the one I'm looking at. All these right here. These are the ones I'm actually researching right here. Majority of these, this one right here is something completely different. Black 3.0 is basically the new version, not the new version, but it's another version of Vinta Black right there. They only sell that stuff in 8 ounces. That's it. So that's not being used for anything, basically for decorated art. That's basically about it. The HD Premium, is this black? Let's go click on here and see if this one comes up. That's the HD Premium. And this one is not black because this one's coming up as an ultra white screen. Why would you have it in that category? It's an ultra white screen. Can you zoom on this? See? So this one right here is an ultra white screen. This is much better. All right, so we'll come over here and we'll the wires and cables real quick. Come over here. See if we can click on this one right here. Can we magnify this? Oh, no, it just don't allow you to magnify it. Let me see if we can bring it up a little bit more so you can see it. See right there at the top where it says, oh, it's not even black. So let's see if we can get this a little better than what we had it before. Let's come out of this. I was better off with the whole standalone right here, just having it here. Right there, this screen is white. This is a white screen right there. That's not even black. Because for that price, I would have just bought it right now and had it in the shopping cart. But that's white. So I like to scroll down the bottom and see if anybody else has it. They painted it up. There's somebody else who has it right here. This is the ultra white right here. So many people have it. Here's the screen. There's on display right there for you. Screen's white. So it's not even black. So that's just a white screen product. That's not even gray or light gray. It's white, like a white screen. But it's claiming to be able to have some contrast capabilities, which is a lie. And how much do they want for it? They want, for a gallon, $75 for a gallon. that's not going to do what you think it's going to do. So let's go back over here and let's go look up this right here is for border, for the border around your screen. So that's what that's for. These become little jars. People still use border around. I don't know. I don't like borders. I hate them. If I don't have to deal with them, I don't deal with them at the end of the day. So we got this one right here. This is the company called Paint On Screens. This is the ultimate contrast. So the ultimate contrast I had downstairs on the table, that screen right there is clearly not black. So that's the ultimate contrast screen. We have that downstairs right now. That screen does not, I don't know how they called it a contrast screen because the screen is white. I don't know where you're even getting that from. It's not even in this color right here. Where is it in this color? It's not even that color. Oh, we should have bought that upstairs. We should have really bought that upstairs, but now we're not. We're looking at black screens right now. So let's see what we got here for this right here. Anybody else got one of these painted up and posted down here? There we go. Gray screen. That screen won't show contrast. It won't show color. Keep in mind, if we just watch the red screen downstairs, do over 18 certified screens, and half of the screens on there were heavy gunmetal screens, and these screens could not pick up at all on that screen. What makes you think that's going to pick up? Yeah, it's not going to pick up at all. Now look at the pictures here when they have the screen on display. See right here? There's no, where's the video at? And then when they do show the video, here's the screen right there. See that tannish around the screen right there? That screen's washing out big time right there. Look how dark the environment is where the screen's sitting at. See where the condensed lighting's at? They can't have the area. Well, that screen will wash completely out. And let's go over and get their black screen. So we're going to go over to the company Paint On Screen. Let's go to their actual site. I still like to call them Monday morning and try to get an understanding about why did they call that screen a contrast screen when that screen is clearly not a contrast screen. So this is where we call to get information about the diamond products, which we were ignored on that one. So let me see. If I put in Paint On Screens, and I don't need that, please, thank you. Paint On Screens, I'll put down black. It'll pretty much bring it down to what we want. Now, I thought the Black Widow over here was a black screen paint, but it's not. It's actually used for painting the inside of your home theater setup. No, I'm sorry, this is racing paint. They do have a paint here that actually does like a video paint, but it's designed for painting inside of your whatchamacallit, of your home theater setup. That's what it's for. Paint On Screens black with a 1.1 gain. There it is right there. That's what we have here. And right now, right in front of me, this is what we have. This is what I requested. So I requested the darkest screen that they have. And the darkest screen that they have, they said is black. That's what it says on the container. Paint On Screens black. This is what we have in our hand. If I can zoom this up, this is what we have on our hand right there. This is the black screen right here. As you can see, that screen's not black. So if you go and you look at the description of the paint, you'll see right here where it says projection screen paint. It says black, get that out of the way. It has a 1.2 gain. As you scroll down, you'll see right there, already activated. And then when you look at the description of the paint, that's the product's name's black, has a 1.4 gain. Which one is this? 1.4? I'm gonna leave that one alone, that's none of my business. And then at the bottom, right here, has all the specifications on it. The coverage for how much per square feet and all the other good stuff on it. And what does it say under color? Deep gray black. So either one or the other. Is it black or is it gray? If they use the term deep black gray, that means they're claiming it as both. It's black and gray. Is it one or the other? Is it black or is it gray? Now, if you said the screen was gunmetal, gunmetal means a very, very dark screen. That's what gunmetals are. They're screens that are close enough to be black, but they're considered to be, oh, that's way too close to my camera. They're considered to be black, but they're not considered to be black. This is a very, very dark, dark screen. If it was gunmetal gray or something like that, all right, it's a very dark gray screen. But you're saying that it's black, and physically it's not black. I don't know. Well, that, like I said, that came from back in the day where people would basically have screens. I'm trying to get my, I need to clean my screen when I do this because my zoom is all the way up. Mr. Bird does not know how to use his phone correctly. Because you can't get the zoom to go down. I can get it to go up. I can't go. There we go. Boom, we're back. Whew. I had to clean my screen. That's my fault. That comes from me being downstairs working, and I laid my phone down. I've sprayed my phone a couple of times and jack it up. But anyway, yeah, at the end of the day, that screen is basically either black or gray. You can't claim a screen to be black if it's gray. It doesn't work that way. Let's go look up. I got to contact them tomorrow. There's a company called, I really need my other computer. My other computer allows me to speak into it. Let's look at, this is another screen I thought that was black. So the only screen paints I ran across basically were screen paints that were claiming to be black screens. At the end of the day, they were just gray, dark gray screens, which means they were just gunmetal screens. All right, so this is daylight screen. This is supposed to be the, I butchered the name. I probably get it right this time, and this one because I'll hear it for the period again. This is the demonstration that I saw that I thought the screen physically was a black screen. I don't see where I'm seeing the difference with the lights out. I can test the screen right now on a white screen right now and see if I see a difference. Contrast, yeah, I would see a difference. Color, I would see a difference. White levels, I don't think so. Let's see. Now, see right here, I can see a difference. Of course, you can easily pull this off. It's a contrast screen. The screen's darker. It's going to pull up a much higher black level than a white screen. Much higher. But then again, like I said, at the end of the day, I can see where they're basically, most people are going to run into are going to have white screens anyway. You're not going to walk into someone's house, they're going to have like a black diamond sitting up on the wall, like, might as well not be here. You know what I mean? Majority, most people are going to walk in. Businesses, schools, establishments are going to have white screens. So I can see we're going to show the difference here. But this screen is not physically black. That's what I thought it was when I saw the demonstration. I was like, snap. This screen's black. They got a black screen. Well, we got to get it down here. So we got it down here. Found out gunmetal. Guess a Phantom. You can't touch a Phantom. Phantoms are jet black. But like I said, versus a white screen, big time improvement. Big time improvement over a white screen, of course. Now, one of the things I noticed when I tested this screen next to the UV Mix, we've done that demonstration on the UV Mix, other dark products, even including the paint on screens. Paint on screens pulls a pretty good white level, but it does come in close to the UV Mix. It does come in really close when it comes to white levels of the UV Mix. This screen, on the other hand, pulls a very high white level when it comes to being able to display contrast, being able to display color and so forth. It displays a much better image than the UV Mix and the paint on screen with no problem whatsoever. That's one of the things I noticed. When I brought the screen up, these remained basically nice and bright, being able to match up with the Phoenix, and with the other paints, they couldn't pull the white levels. Which we're going to do some demonstration tests on that. We're going to do some demonstration tests of the UV Mix and the paint on screens, see how they compare on the white surface next to the Phoenix technology. See what I mean? You really can't tell one from the other. In certain points, you can't tell. But the good thing about this, we're watching it, and I have the products here. That's why you have to have certified screens, a lot of them. So I mean, if I'm on here talking about these screens right here, and I don't have the certified screens here to begin with, that's stupid. I have the screens here. So we have that down there. We got a white screen. We can do a side by side. We can go downstairs. They're telling me these screens are ambient light projection. Keep in mind, downstairs in the basement, it's 1900, and to get to a point, at some point, where the meter is shut off down there because there's so much light. If this screen has this ambient light capability, it should have no problem pulling up. Because I'm not going to put it in the ambient light controlled environment. Why? Why would I put it? It's a $5,000 screen. It's a $5,000 screen. Why should I hold his hand? It should be able to pass it. But like I said, next to a black screen, I mean, a white screen, yeah, it's going to show a huge improvement. It's definitely show huge. All these screens are going to show huge improvement like next to white screens easily. But I already thought that screen was actually black. The other screen I was interested in was called the Dragonfly. I was very interested in getting that. I actually watched a couple of demonstrations of the Dragonfly. It looked to be a black screen, but it wasn't. At the end of the day, it was gunmetal. After talking to the owner of that screen, it's actually gunmetal. It's a gunmetal screen. But just curious to see. And he knew who I was too. Interesting. He knew who I was. He knew who I was. He knew what a Phantom was. He knew exactly what a Phantom was. That's good. That's good to know. This is impressive. Black Diamond, this is when I saw this demonstration. Black Diamond does the screen when it comes down, it comes back up. I think they started that because he did that 11 years ago. A lot of people don't realize he started that 11 years ago doing those demonstrations. I ain't a big fan of the guy, but you gotta give credit where credit is due. Let me see. So let's go hunt for something. Let's go find ourselves a let's see. Oopsie. It's a fun part of research. Now, some good bling that, oh, there's no screen called a Dragonfly. It's actually a screen called a Dragonfly. The heck's that buzzing noise? I heard it boom, boom. It's got to be the subs downstairs. They're probably not even turned. Sometimes my subs would trigger on up here. They'll pick up the signal. And they wouldn't have that here. There's no way in the world they would have one of those here. Here we go. Now, when y'all were saying, oh, there's no signal, there's screens out there. I do so much research. There's screens out there that some people don't even know actually exist. This is a Dragonfly. Those are Dragonfly screens right there. Beautiful screen. I would love to have gotten a chance to test it. Let me see what my stand up with. There we go. Dragonfly. I'd have loved to have gotten a chance to accept it, to be able to test it out. See which one was actually a darker gunmetal. Let's see if we got right here. Home theater. Click on home theater. Ultra black. See that screen? That's what caught my attention. When the screen posted as being ultra black, I'm thinking, oh, heck yes, we got a screen to test against Phantom. This is right around when Phantom was at 10%. We're hunting screens down to go against Phantom. To see exactly how many screens a Phantom could take out at 10%. Phantom took out over 21 screens at 10%. So, hunting down more black screens, we came across this company right here. And they have a screen that's called an ultra black. It's a Dragonfly. I talked to the fellow on the phone. I was going to buy sample sheets. He already knew who I was. He didn't. To put it this way, the discussion went elsewhere. A nice way of putting it. It went elsewhere. I still would like to do a side by side next to that screen. Let's see where it stands. But if this is the color of it, it's not going to stand against a Phantom. But that screen's darker than that. What I saw, that screen's darker than this right here. Where's the ultra black? Matter of way. I want to see This is the Ultra Black AR. White, high contrast. This is considered to be high contrast. That's not high contrast. It's going to have issues at the end of the day. Chances are they're probably using an incredible, crazy, expensive projector. I actually was talking to a customer, and the customer was going to do a screen. He wasn't worried about the screen because the projector had heavy contrast levels. I don't mean jack. It really doesn't. If a projector claimed to have, a projector has like a P2 has what, 2 million to 1 contrast ratio, something like that. If that's the case, that means you can watch a jet black star field demonstration in the middle of the day with that ultra short throw projector and produce a contrast level without the screen fading out. No, it ain't gonna work. So this is the ultra black right there. This is all they're giving us right here. I want to see that dark screen. That's what I want to see. How do I high contrast? Let's see what we got going on here. Theater options, commercial options. I'm just seeing the same old thing. Hope they didn't pull it. Pretty sure they didn't pull that screen. I'm going to take down the name of this. And we're going to go in back out here. Let's see if we can bring this up. So let's see. Dragonfly. I want the ultra black. This is another one we're supposed to get. We didn't get it. This is another one I had my eye on. See how dark that screen is supposed to be? That's gunmetal. That's not black. Color. They got the color down as black. Right there. If you see that, they got the color down as black. Is that actually a black screen? So let's see. I'm going to take this one down right here. I'm going to take this 120. This is the zero edge right here. Black diamond zero edge. We're going to take this one right here. Is that the name of it? And we're going to go into YouTube. See if we can find someone who has this screen. No, I'm good. Goodbye. I need to go in here. This is it right here. See, this is why I do my research. So I want to see how dark this screen is. And worst case lighting. What you mean by worst case lighting? Let's see how much lighting we have in this environment to this be worst case. Okay, so here, last. This is called worst case lighting. I gotta zoom out for a little bit for this one so you can see this because we're too far in. There we go. That's worst case lighting. That's it. So basically in worst case lighting, we have, this room is still dark. That's not even lighting in the environment at all, period. There's nothing going on. He has condensed lighting here and here, and it's not even bright enough. And look at the background, how dark the background of the wall. This is supposed to be worst case lighting? Wow, that screen wouldn't have a chance sitting in my bay window. My bay window would wash this out.
Video, well, not last video, but another one here. This is what I would consider the worst possible scenario for this screen. And you can see the darks look good, but not amazing.
Darks don't look good. The darks are absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. They don't look good. The thing about this is, I can see where he painted the wall behind it darker, so it reflects less light. Because light coming from here, he needs a darker wall here to draw in as much light as possible. Because like I said, too much light generating the screen would wash out even worse if he didn't have that darker gray screen behind the back of it. But the thing I see here, this is supposed to be worse lighting. Are you kidding me? If I stuck that thing in my downstairs lounge around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, that thing would wash out. And that's the worst case scenario right there. Yeah, the average environment is much brighter than that. You can see it does have its condensed lightings on, but it's nothing making contact with that screen. It's nothing hitting the wall at all.
It's just, yeah, the room's super bright, right? So check it out. So I've got all the can lights on.
Nothing's touching the screen.
I have the windows open on the side. And then this is the real problem right here. The light coming in from the back out here. So I'm going to get blinds, but right now we have it coming in.
So you hear that? He's got to get blinds. You see how far that light is from the screen? So that light back there is affecting the screen that he has right there. He's got to get blinds to block all that light out, so none of that makes contact with the screen. That's a $5,000 projection screen.
But right now we have it coming in. So even with all that, I mean, it's still a great picture.
First things first, the light back there is not even making contact with the screen. It's basically going to disappear before it even makes contact with the screen. Between that and the projector, it's not going to make contact with the screen at all. It's not going to affect the screen at all. It'll probably have the exact same reaction if it was at nighttime. You had the lights on, the same reaction. Where this is at, the screen just has, it's not black. That's the only problem. It's gray.
Here we go.
Oh, wow, this is so bad. I told you, y'all don't see things the way I see things. When I watch these demonstrations, I see them differently. I really see like the really bottom line of it all. That is really bad. Look at all that tannish around the screen right here. Look at this. That's completely washed out. That is not even there anymore. That's washed out. All this is supposed to pop. These colors are supposed to pop. This is all washed out.
Like I mentioned, this is the worst it's ever going to get, right? I don't actually really ever watch TV in the middle of the day, and if I do, I try to just remove a little bit of the light. But if I just want to turn something on real quick, this gives you an idea of what the worst case scenario looks like.
I'm seeing the worst case scenario.
Up there.
There is new solar plus battery backup.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a $5,000 projection screen right there. Right there. That's a $5,000 projection screen. And if they feel that they don't like what I'm doing over here and they got a problem with it, hey, look, let's do it side by side. My screen versus everything you have. I guarantee you that screen will level everything you have. From what I'm seeing right here, this is bad. This is really, really bad. This is a worst case scenario for light. Are you kidding me? We got black screens at 150 inches that can show up outside with no problem. This is a worst case scenario. Oh, man. I know they got darker ones than this. They make darker screens than this, but yeah, they make darker ones than that one. Not for that kind of money. This is a Zero Age unboxing. I'm gonna see this unboxing at Zero Age. Let's see what color the screen is. All I have to do is just see the color of the screen automatically from the door. Get an idea of what we're looking at here. I bet you he starts the demonstration up in the dark. I guarantee you lights probably won't even be on for this demonstration. So let's see, let's bring this down a little bit. So I just want to see the screen. Well, don't act right. So clean my screen next time, brother. There we go. I want to see the environment where he has the screen at. Does he start this off right off in the dark? Yep. One entire video in the dark. In the dark. In the dark. In the dark. Yeah, that's basically where you want it to be at, in the dark. That's not going to pull up anyplace else. That's it on that one. As I said, my demonstrations show color, the whole 9 yards. You're not going to see any of that. Let me see what else we got here. I watched this installment right here. I want you to color the screen. That's the sizing of the wall. Put the frame up. Can you show the color of the screen? Okay. Yep. It's not going to pick up a black level. Not at all. I see there's plastic on it, but that's not going to pick up a black level. It's too low. The screen is it's too gray. It's not going to pick it up. Like I said, my screens in here are darker than that. All right, now watch this. Watch right here. See how dark the screen is? Now watch, that's what you do. When a projector changes over for a couple of minutes, it goes back to the original form, which the screen is gray. So I know what I've seen from Black Diamond Selections. This is the screen I'm looking at right here. We can get this out of the way. That's the screen I'm looking at right there. There's no way in the world this screen right here is the same thing I'm looking at in the demonstration. That's the color of the screen right there. That's not black. That's actually gray. That's a dark gray screen. That's not black. It reads right there in this description right here under the screen that it is a, let me see, it is a black screen. Saying that's a black screen right there. That's not black. And like I said, you can go in and check the video, because when I was doing research on these I was just tracking down all the screens, and I would just copy and paste and go to YouTube, see the actual screen on display. And I'm like, that's not a black screen. Now see, there's a big difference between this one. You look at this screen right here. If I can get it to click over, it'll do it for me. Guess it won't. That right there, that screen right there. Okay, there we go. That screen looks black. And if you look at that, you're going to think that's a black screen. When you look at it up close, it's not black. It's gray. It's a very dark gunmetal, and they should not be calling it black, because that screen is not a black screen. Now, if they want to sit there and argue with me, give me a call, email me, whatever. You explain to me why your screen is not black. Your screen is actually gray. I would love to see. I'm going to see if we can track one down. Do they make an actual black screen? Okay, let's go over to let's go look up and see if they make. Let's see all the screens I'm seeing. We just saw this screen right here. Sorry about that. Let me get this over a little bit more for you guys. So we just saw this screen right here. We just saw the screens. These are screens I just showed you on YouTube. These screens are not black. None of these screens. This black paint right here, not black. Because we have it right here, right in front of us. That screen's not black. That screen actually comes up as saying paint on screens, claiming the screen to be black, comes up as a deep gray, not a black. I say deep gray black. No, either it's black or it's gray. Which one is it? The Black Diamond screens I'm looking at right now, all these screens are gunmetal. They're not actual black screens. Let's see, we got the Prime Vision. Prime Vision, widescreen. Is this screen actually black? No, it's not black. It's gray. Let me see if we can pull up real black screens. Same thing comes up every single time. That's not black. That's not black. That's definitely not black. This is not a black screen. This is a daylight screen, which is the Parallax or Parallax. We have that here. We know that's not black because we have it right here in our hand. That's not a black screen. That's not black. That's not black. This is daylight's other screen. Still not black at all. None of these are black screens. And neither is the black fusion, jet black fusion, and neither is the whatever simple black, not even anywhere near black screen. Because like I said, paint on screen is darker than their screen, much darker than their screen. We're the only ones that have black technology. I told you at the end of the day, we're the only ones who have it. You research all you want, you won't find anybody. We're the only ones who have that technology. Now mind you, this is a demonstration. When I told you, this is a, I think this is a 7, it's a Supreme 7, black screen. Same individual who told me to, hold on for a minute. There we go. Same individual that told me to do my product against black paint, which now refuses to do the same demonstration that he told us to do. He won't do the demonstration because, like I said, judging by what I've seen in that demonstration, that was a demonstration he should not have done. He should have really not have done that. He damaged his main product by doing it because, like I said, that projector, that screen wasn't black. It didn't pull up as dark as the UV mix. It does not the same as the UV mix. The paint on screen sample sheet I have here is darker than that. Parallax or daylight screen is darker, and the Dark Star 9 is darker than the jet black and the other products he had up there. And then the Cinemax on top of that, the Cinemax basically got dominated by a screen using a 720p Epson projector, which I still got to find that projector and buy it. A 720p Epson projector, probably about 8 feet away from the screen, was able to dominate a screen that was claiming to be able to pull a contrast level equal to a black screen, but couldn't pull a screen that was actually lighter than the UV mix and lighter than the products I have here on my desk. Yeah, and they did it with 720p, not a $4,000 projector, a 720p projector. And even with the screen paint he had up there claiming to be a black screen paint, wasn't even that either, because it didn't match his speakers. It didn't even come close to matching the color of the speakers in the environment. It, like I said, didn't match anything we had over here, and the UV mix was darker. Yeah, that's a huge freaking, that's something right there by itself. So this is the difference. We had to do a difference between black paint right there on the floor. If I bring this down so you can see, that right there is black house paint, and that right there is a 7. Now, mind you, Phantoms are now, well, actually, the Phoenix is darker than 7. And 12s were darker than, 17s were darker than 12s. And now the Phantom is actually one of the darkest screens we made, or what we have right now. Because the Phantom is so dark, if you pour them out side by side, they can blend in the black paint. They look just like side by side, but when you put white levels on, they produce higher levels. There you go. Now, this demonstration is old. We did this demonstration when we had 7s. So if we could do this demonstration with no problem, I don't know why in the world I had to request 6 times in a row for that demonstration. This right here is a 7. That right there is black paint. Well, someone's going to challenge me. Look at that. It's the first time someone challenged me on my product being black paint. No, when we had 7s, he was challenging us, telling us, oh, it got to be black paint. Well, now we challenge you and nothing comes up. Yeah, we did that challenge. That was in 2019 when we did that one. For that demonstration. Now, the technology we have now, way beyond that. Way, way, way beyond that. You can control height, color, contrast, whatever you want on the screen. But I'm not seeing any black screens except for, we see the black screens up here. That's basically about it. But now, from what I've seen already, what is this right here? Who is this? Now, this is interesting. Who makes this? Ah, finally, somebody to go against. This may be promising. I'm always looking forward to see exactly what we can do. What is this right here? Oh, it's rear. Yeah, well, ain't gonna work. But we are making a rear version of a Phantom, so that would be interesting to go side by side with to do a test on. But a rear projection screen hybrid. There's always some company out there. I'm always researching these companies. I'm saying you should never be satisfied with what your product can do. You should always be striving for something better. So we can locate them in the United States. We have to contact them. I want to ask what else they have. Do they have any other black products here? What about here? Are they just doing rear projection only? That's the darkest thing I've ever seen so far. From what I've seen, that's the darkest, but it depends on how it's going to come up. Is this going to be black or is this going to be a gunmetal? So this is what we need to get a sample sheet down here to see where it stands at. To see if we're actually getting black or gunmetal. All right, that's good now. Let's see what else we have here. We already have them, so they're not going to do what I think they're going to. They're not. Who right here is protection screen map? Shown up. That's all gunmetal. These are all gunmetal screens. Every last one of them are gunmetals. XY screens. Yeah, we've had it with them too. We had a conversation with them on Facebook. They didn't want to bother with us. That's another company, the XY screens. I've seen their demonstrations. Their screens basically use a lot of ultra short throw projectors in their demonstrations. They don't do a lot of distance throws, a lot of ambient light controlled environment, stuff like that. And judging by what I've seen by the screens, they're physically not black. They're actually a dark gunmetal. Paint on the screens is paint on goose green, ultra black. And that's not even considered to be black. That's actually gray. Log it in. Okay. We need to log in. I can go. This is my video. People don't black screens. This is all the research I used to do back in the day. Searching and tracking down people's stuff. Not logging in anything. This right here, this screen paint we made here, I can go back and check out my own stuff. This screen was, at the time, was producing good, but what we got now is way beyond this. Let's pull up red projection screen. Shall we? Let's see what comes up. Oh, you want to see something pretty cool? Watch this. The technology we develop under our ambient light rejection, everybody has their own. So Elite has cylinder light projection technology. You know what the ADV stands for? Advanced ambient light projection. That's what it stands for. We have our own. So if you type in ADV, ambient, let me see, ambient light projection, we pop up everywhere. Everywhere we pop up. I'm going to show you. There you go. That's our signature. That advanced ambient light projection technology, that's ours. Anytime you see that anybody types that in, we pop up right up on the search engine. That fast, that quick, for that one little keyword. There's our labels right there. Let's see if you can put in red projection screen. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for the next couple of days. So no, we can't find any black screens out there. There's one company right now I'm looking at that makes a rear projection screen. That one, I would love to be able to talk to them. From what I've seen from Paint On Screens does not make a black projection screen at all. We're the only ones that come with this right there. It's our Red Technologies. I put in red projection screen, we come up. I'm curious, what the frig is this thing? Visionary, that's right. Oh, it's a magnetic wall mount, glass and board. Magnetic wall mount, glass board. Oh, we got that invisible contrast, black technology. We spread stuff like that. That stuff would be sick, but these things are too expensive for that price. And a glass to it, that would make them extremely fragile, which means when these suckers crack, they would snap in half on shipping. Would be something nice to test that new technology on too. When you ain't concerned, they're made out of glass. So shipping that, man, that thing would have to be in some serious package because that thing would snap in half if somebody would drop something on it. Yeah, I need to go keep saving this too. I'm going to bookmark that. We're definitely going to save that. I got to go research that and look on that, see what we can use for some test services on top of that. Let me go back to my red screen over here. All right, well, that's basically it. We're not going to find any black screens. What I've seen from Screen Innovation, Optima was supposed to have a black screen, but I don't know. I know Optima was supposed to have one. Optima. Told you Optima has a black projection. They have a screen. I don't know if it's black until I see it. But I know I've seen one of their screens. No, it's gunmetal. Is this the thing I was looking at? Because it looks like the same kind of design right there. Oh, come on, stop with the Photoshop. That is not even freaking real. All right, now it's definitely gray right there, right there. The fabric is gray right there, so that's not even black. Tri-Prism. I think it's called Tri-Prism. I'm gonna go see if my other machine is basically acting right. Cause I need to use the microphone. There's a screen called a Tri-Prism. I think that's what it's called. It was a really black screen, but I'm not gonna find anything on there. All the screens on there, as I said they are basically gunmetal screens. That's what they are. And at the end of the day, the gaming cinema is darker than their screen. Literally darker than their screen. Let's see that bounce back in if we can get it to bounce back in. It's a bird fighting with his zoom on his camera. There we go. Boom. Yeah. What I just saw, like I said, nothing. Everything in there. This screen's darker. It's the darkest gunmetal screen right now. Because what I've seen, none of them are going to be able to withstand a Phantom. No way in the world. All right, let's see if the computer's in here. It's basically made up his mind whether or not he wants to be act right or going to continue to be a bonehead the rest of the day. I'm sorry, I like this seat better. Oh, man, this is my massager back here. I'm about to do some Far Cry in a few minutes. I gotta finish the rest of my missions. All right, so we didn't do a ship out today real quick. I'm gonna plug this in here real quick. Our ship out's gonna be this week coming up. Not next Saturday, this week coming up. I do apologize for the delay. I had to order containers. All my containers had to be reordered because we ran out of containers. And now I gotta go back on the computer and we have to get ready to do the swap out for the new containers now because I can't wait to put those in. I just want to give our customers more paint. Let me see if this thing is still going through a freaking update. But whatever. Man, it's hot in here. All right, I think my heat is off. Good gracious, man, it's hot. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's a shame you didn't put it on the website. If you put it on the website, I would have bought it. I'm curious. It wouldn't have been able to withstand. There's no way in the world it can withstand. It's not dark enough. Have to have a black screen, a true black screen to full contrast. I don't know where to get these gray screens from. Where did he getting this from? Like, who comes up with this stuff at the end of the day? Well, that's old tradition. That's old tradition that any dark gray screen, at the time there weren't no black screens at the time, so you could call a screen black. We did it a couple of times on a couple of them. When we sold paint, we had a really dark screen. A D5K was a dark screen, and they considered it to be a black screen because there was nothing else next to it to compare it to be darker. But now you got black technology out here. Some of these screens are really dark. Well, actually, from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything black at all. Not to bring up the other fellow up there, Partey, but we tested his product. He posted his product. He posted his ingredient. Matt, we're gonna make his ingredients again. We'll make it again and put it against a Phantom. That's what we'll do. We'll put him against a Phantom because he posted the ingredients, and I made it. Put it against the 8. It couldn't take on an 8. If it can't take on an 8, it's definitely not gonna be taking on a Phantom. Phantoms are far darker than 8s. That's a really black screen. We'll mix some more of it. That's the only thing I can see that would be, at least that was darker. That'd be worthy, somewhat worthy, but not worthy enough. So we'll see. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to track down anybody who made a black screen paint product and posted it, and we'll make your product, put you against the Phantom. Because that Phantom needs a record on black. We dominated every gray screen we could get our hands on. Those, like I said, those didn't want to go against it, didn't want to go against it, but we need to basically go through the screen paints next. And there's a lot of people with old recipes all over YouTube, which we'll make all of them if we have to. Because I need a challenge for that screen. I really need a challenge for it. What are we going to challenge against a red screen? Literally, honestly, there's nothing up there that's going to challenge a red screen. The screen is red. And basically, when it transforms to black. So it's not going to be too much to take that one on. Then we got the blue one coming in tomorrow. Yeah, I do an update. That's my anime girl right there. I do an update. I don't even know why I still have Steam on this account. I don't even use Game on Steam on this account, but it keeps popping up on here. I gotta figure out where it's at and just get rid of that. I gotta get back here and change my labels out real quick. Something else I supposed to be doing I need to get access to, and I can't remember what I need this computer for. Oh well. Now, as for the other fellow, we're not paying him any mind. I'll tell you why we don't pay any mind. We mentioned his names over here and there, but try to make a black screen. When the minute you try to make a black screen, you've already put yourself on the radar of a Phantom. That's it. The minute you even try to make a black screen, you already made you a candidate of going against a Phantom. So if he ever makes a product and he puts it on the website, we'll pick it up, we'll bring it down. Like I said, the whole main goal behind the Phantom was basically design the ultimate black screen. And we can't call it an ultimate black screen unless we challenge against everything we can get our hands on. That's how it has to be done. Okay, let's go back in here real quick. This one much better. See if I can get out of here. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's just strictly business. If you put your hat in the ring and want to have a black screen, then you have to go against a Phantom. That's how it's going to be. Whether you like it or not, you're going against a Phantom. Now, if he decides to cancel the order, that's the end of it. We don't pursue it after that. It's no point. Just like the guy from Dragonfly who didn't want to give us a sample sheet. I'm not pursuing that. It's the end of it. That's the end of it. Just like when we basically made statements about if Screen Innovation was going to give us samples, we even went down and ordered the samples, mind you. Still never got them. We're not going to pursue that. We're done. We already know where they stand at. There's no point. There's no point. We already know where they stand at. But I'm just going to give you a fair warning. If your product has any white paint in it, you're done from the door. You're going to have problems against that screen. Like I said, you've seen how black a Phoenix is. That screen is 4 times darker than a Phoenix. So if you have an ounce of white, silver, anything in that, you're going to have problems. Can't buy the stuff that was designed to make that stuff. You can't go to Home Depot and Lowe's and buy that. You better try customs. You better try overseas to get that. It has to be done from the ground up into somebody to customize that for us to get that base for us. No, we're not going to restore anything because I don't want to go through the same crap I went through before. I want to go pop over on YouTube. So like I said, We don't care about people doing, because we can't do fake demonstrations because you can't even match your own stuff against black paint. So we don't care about that either. All we're interested in is whether they cancel out when it comes next to that screen. So what we're hunting for right now is black screen paint products. What I've seen already from paint on screens, it's not a black screen. We need a physical black screen. But I want to look at this company called Tri-Prism. I think I got it right. Tri-Prism black projection screens. See if I'm right on this thing. T-Prism. Is it T-Prism? There it is. That's what I'm hunting. Right there. This screen better be what I think it is. It better be what I think it is. It better be a black screen. I'm so sick and tired of running the gunmetals. I hate gunmetal screens. I mean, I probably hate these screens, man. Every time I bump into the screen, oh, it's a black screen, it's a black screen. This thing had better be what it's supposed to be. That's what I'm hunting. Let's see what we got going on with this. What's bothering me, the lights are good. They got plenty of lights hitting this screen. You can see how the lights are hitting here and here, but it depends on how far. It doesn't make a difference. If the screen's even out about this much, it's still being nailed by those lights. It's still being hit by it. But I wonder why they got an ultra short throw in there. How is that screen going to be affected by long throw? It's going to get the same reaction as long throw as short throw. And I want to see this screen because I want to see if this screen actually is the color this is supposed to be. No, it's gunmetal. As always. Always freaking gunmetal. Told you. Gunmetal screen. It's a freaking gunmetal. That's why I hate it. This is why I hate when they do these fake demonstrations. That screen looked black. Did it not? That's a gunmetal screen. Oh, man. That would have been real nice, though. That would have been real nice. But that turned around to be a freaking... That's not what's on there. Right, turn the lights out. If it's the black screen, you don't have to turn the lights out. That's where we have the problem. It's gunmetal. How do they get that from that? What's the name of the screen right here? See, someone has it. T-Prism, T-Prism. Ultra short throw. Projection screen. Right here. T-Prism. See if someone has this house on YouTube. Projection screen central. They don't have it. AliExpress has it, so that tells you something right there. That screen's not where it's supposed to be. Here we go. That's black. Now, two things the printer could have a problem with. Number one, expensive. And number two, if it has to be used with ultra short throw laser projectors only. That could be a problem for the screen. That means that alienates anybody else with a long throw projector. This is what I saw. But what I'm seeing in the demonstration, I'm seeing gunmetal in the screen. Let me see. That's as close as I've ever seen to a black screen. It's a fabric. I'm gonna have it here. Let me see. There's the website right there. Definitely not the United States. Do you have any pictures of it anywhere? No pictures. No, this is YouTube. That's it. Nothing else here. There's a number. If you want to shop now, what do you got for shop now? Nothing here. Just a phone number to call. I don't like that right there. You should be able to have access to be a shop to where your screens are at. There's nothing here, just basically some information. All right, so that's a no-go, it's a bus. Let me see, Facebook, YouTube, we got YouTube. That's basically about it. Let's go over and let's see, I need it's off your short throw only. So it means you can't pick up on a long throw. Screen's gunmetal. So what I'm seeing right here, right at the top, that's a gunmetal screen right there. That's definitely gunmetal. Very dark gunmetal. Black crystal is not us, trust me. Black crystal is XY. We're looking at the color here, the top of the screen here and here. They're not that far off. They're both gunmetal screens. How about you turn that projector off and show me what that screen looks like? Yes, definitely. What do we have here? Interlight. Projector. There, that's the other one. I want to see this one. Same commercial. Yeah, screen's gunmetal. It's a gunmetal screen. I want to go check out the images and see what we come up with. Someone can show the screen physically. But that's a, there, is this right here? Yeah. Pro screens, this is it right here. That screen's gunmetal. That's a gunmetal screen. Well, I thought, when I looked at it, I was like, I thought it was going to, see, that's XY. This is XY screens. This is an XY screen. This is one they have from overseas. This is what the company was talking to that decided, we were talking back and forth. And then when I showed them the demonstrations of our technology outside, that was the end of the conversation right there. I'll show you something real quick. Hold on for a minute. Because, like, I know I am. I back everything up. But, yeah, they're gunmetal screens. They're definitely gunmetals. That's why I was looking at the, the black crystal is actually XY. And I'm an XY, and that screen side by side. That screen's a little bit darker, but it's still, at the end of the day, it was still a gunmetal screen. It's probably talking through Crystal H. There went XY. Was it XY? It was it. Yeah, XY makes the they make the crystal black. That's what XY makes. Can you search on original photos? That's a lot to go through. I know that's the Ibra storm over there. Oh, this is better. This is much, much better. But interesting getting their sample sheet, but like I said, can't get anything underneath them because they have stations. So we're gonna have a hard time finding a black screen, an actual black screen to test against the Phantom. We have it, everything else we find, like I said, is either gunmetal. Yeah, welcome to my world. This is my world when I'm basically doing, this is the kind of work I do all day. On my off time, it's just tracking down companies and just anything I can get my hands on. I really thought the T-Prism was an actual black screen. What I saw, I thought was a black screen, but not even close. It's actually gunmetal. So that one is not going to happen. I guess to make the gunmetals if you're going to pull higher white levels. But at the end of the day, it's not a black screen. It's not a black screen. Oh, man. Let me see. go over here. Let's go with all right, let me check it out next. I think we're going to be making next. We're going to make some black screen paint to do it yourself. Simple black screen paint? Huh. That's by somebody else. Wait a minute. Wait. Something don't look right here. All right. Like somebody stole somebody's idea. That's a product made by a guy called Simple Black Screen Paint. I know I've seen that name somewhere. Simple Black. I've seen that somewhere before.
What I'm about to show you is a mixture of for a short throw projector. You have a short throw projector?
All right, so problem here, and the fellow who's making the black screen paint here, number one, environment is way too dark. First, that's the first problem. Environment's way too dark. I have no idea why the environment's so dark to begin with, but then again, this screen paint is called Simple Black. Did you know that? This is made by somebody who made this 4 years ago. The individual has a screen paint called Simple Black also too.
This is one you might want to try.
And it's used with an ultra short though projector.
Works excellent.
So the problem I have here with this demonstration, first things first, you're going to drop some lights on in here. Of course, they're going to use the OLED demonstration because an OLED demonstration right here, you're supposed to show white levels. Not supposed to show contrast, you're supposed to be showing white levels. Anyone can pull this off. I can pull this off on black paint and do the same thing. You got to show off white levels. So let me see the mistakes he just made.
Mixing that paint for the short throw.
One mistake, two mistakes. Yeah. Look at the color of it. That's not black. That's actually gray. So it's not even anywhere near black. That's gray. That would be black. That's gray. So that's one mistake right there. That's a gray paint. That's not even black. So this right here, if you look at the brush right here, the handle of the brush is actually blacker than the paint. That is actually gray paint right there. That's not black. That's another fail right there. Right there. That is definitely, that's 4 years ago. So like I said, that's a long time ago, but no, that's not black. You see that brush? That brush is black. The outside of the paint that's splattered, that's black. That's black right there. That is gray. That's not considered to be black. So right there, that's automatically a gray screen paint mix already from the door. So what he just produced was a gray screen. It's not black. So that's not going to work. But he did this in 2017. So like I said, But then again, we had black technology since 2015. But then at the end of the day, it's gray. So right there from the door, that's not black. That's gray. Black, it would actually be the color of this. If you did a pour out demonstration side by side next to a black paint, it wouldn't match at all, period. So that's definitely not going to be worth our time on basically making right there from the door. Dark gray mix. This is the dark gray mix right here. That is a physical black screen, which is ours right there. Let me see what else we got here. Do it yourself gray screen paint and mix. No. Dark gray. That's another dark gray. That's not black. That's a dark gray mix right there. Right there. That's not even black right there. That's gray. That's not even going to work. These are all black. That's definitely gray screen right there, right from the door. Let me see. Black and gray. It's not black and gray. It's either black or gray. And I can't be both at the same time. All right, showing up $25. And this was around 2015. Yeah, he was back then. He was back in 2015. So 2015, he could have gotten away with this easily because, yeah. But he doesn't have enough light in the environment at all, period, for this demonstration. But then again, it was like 2015. So basically, the light he has in the environment is not enough. This right here is nothing. This gives him a little bit of light there. That's it. I don't know why you would show light in the next room. Back here has nothing to do with this. That light should have been on, by the way. This definitely should have been on. If he's going to do that demonstration correctly, and he should have took the shade off completely. See if he lights it up a little better. All right, there you go. There you go, buddy. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So he puts the light on now. But his contrast levels are still washing out. Right around in here, it's starting to wash out right there. Showing that screen is not black. That screen's coming up as gray. That's the problem. But he did put the light on. Now turn everything off and show that screen by itself. But it looks like, because if you take a black screen, it should stand by itself black. This is washed out. This is washed out. Just like all that's washed out. Then again, like I said, it was done about in 2015. So that's not bad for 2015. That's actually really good for 2015. Now, no, that screen wouldn't stand. But that's an old product. But not bad. These guys, some of these guys I know. I've seen these guys. I've seen a few of these guys. They all disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. There's a bunch of them. There's another one by the name of Dark Energy Abyss. He was another one. He had a pretty good product. How to make a black projection screen look good. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that works. I guarantee you don't have that thing strung up outside. If it's not outside, then I mean, what do you do? Actually, you need to remove that. That right there is blocking light. So this right here should be over here, so more light can come through. He's got his blinds fully open. From where his projector sitting, ain't much of a distance from the screen, to tell you the truth, honestly. But this needs to go. Why isn't your screen maxed out? Let's see what we got going on here. All right, right there, first sign. Your screen's not black. It just came up as gray right here. That definitely came up gray. See how the trim is still black right there. That came up gray. Nope, that's washed out. That screen's gray, not black. No point in looking at it. It's definitely a gray screen. That's red. Let me see. We saw this with the Elite screens. The screens were all tucked away in the dark. None of them were black. We all know that from the door. This is our technology from 6 years ago. 6 years ago. What I don't like about the demonstrations, they never show the screen with the projector off, showing that the screen is a physical black screen. What they'll do is they'll do a demonstration with contrast levels on the screen to fool you that you're seeing a contrast level when you're not. You have to turn the screen off, turn the projector off to show that the screen is physically black, or just get black paint. That is one of the demonstrations we did displaying our screen back in 2015. Now, keep in mind, like I said, Phantoms are darker than this, way darker than this. This is what we were doing back then when we were displaying our screens off. Do you have any idea what that paint sold for in that era at 2015? It sold for $900 a quart. I was making that kind of money. $900 a quart. Because at 2015, this technology was unheard of. This is right around the time we got into the dispute with Screen Innovation, because my company's name was, at the bottom, Digital 4K Crystal Onyx. Same email address that we were actually hit up under Screen Innovation under the same around 2014 or 2015 when we started testing their products. We had an actual black screen. Right around that time. I wonder what happened to Dark Energy Abyss. There's another fellow who was making black products, and he just seemed to have disappeared. Yeah. You see how many people were making black screen paints? It was a lot of people that were trying to do it, make these black screens, and all of them gone. Like I said, at the end of the day, your product will basically stand the test of time. That's what happens. And either you basically are going to fizzle out and disappear, or it's going to be here. And a lot of them just couldn't basically keep up. You have to be able to keep up. The problem is that all the demonstrations I see, these people are in dark environments. Every demonstration I see, dark environment, dark environment, dark environment. We're in fully lit environments doing these demonstrations. This is where I got the laser projector from. See all that light in that environment? That screen's pulling up with no problem whatsoever. I have to beat it to those demonstrations like that. Nothing in the dark. Every time these guys do demonstrations, they're sitting in the dark. Every time we look at a demonstration, someone's sitting in the dark. This is another guy right here. James of Arizona. He was another fellow that back in the day I used to go back and forth with. He was another fellow. He was actually pretty good, but in his demonstrations, he was in the dark all the time. Man, I miss these guys, man. This is when we didn't have people like Jamie involved. It was none of that dumb nonsense of people making memes of you and doing nasty stuff and doing the dirty stuff he does. You didn't have any of that. People doing fake pour out products and cutting corners. You didn't have any of that. We had a few words back and forth, and that was the end of it. We went about our day, and that was it. But not like this, but this guy does. Nothing like this guy does. That's why I said he puts a black stain on the world of home theater. He really does. And I remember all these guys. Nobody was calling each other scammers. We didn't have any of that nonsense going on. None of that stuff went on. I remember all these guys. We talked back a little back. We did a little trash talking back and forth, and that was the end of it. But it was none of that nonsense. Not what this guy does. He put a black mark on it. But we're gonna clean that up real quick. That's gonna be cleaned up really, really quick, real fast. We're gonna get that taken care of. I just had negotiations today with the attorneys. We're gonna get that cleaned up real quick. We got some things got planned we're gonna do. It's gotta be cleaned up. Some people just gotta be removed altogether. They don't need to be in the business. This is another fellow right here, John. Oh man, I remember all these guys back. Like these are 6 years ago. These are back in the day, man. 6 years ago. Here's another fellow who was doing a black and gray screen paints. He was doing stuff too, man. These are really. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, we had our discussions and stuff, but not the way this guy does stuff. Man, these were the days, boy. I miss these guys. These guys. I mean, I had feuds with these guys back and forth, but I miss these guys. These guys were pretty cool at the end of the day. Embrace your gray. Embrace it. Just gonna come back anyway. Like you really gonna be the fight time, please. You're the richest man in the world. You can't add one day to it. All right, I'm gonna get out of here real quick. I got some things I gotta do real quick. I'm done on this demonstration right here. I went way over my time. Wow, way over my time. I'm gonna go plug my phone up and do some Far Cry downstairs and destroy some stuff. And I'm gonna get over here and get something to eat. Taco! Taco! You in here, Taco? All right, let's check it. We got Taco. Taco the bear. You in here? Not in here. You in the window? Not in the window. Where's Big Bear Taco at? Go check downstairs. Taco De Niro. Turning up the heat, Taco De Niro. Where you at, buddy? All right, people, I'm gonna get out of here real quick. I got some things I got to take care of. Thank you all for your time. I got to go, and God bless.